worst house fire ever, along with the rest of her family, had put her into foster care. She'd faced his spasm before, and knew this had no more in common with her father than a puppet with his features. Despite that, her breath caught. She hadn't seen him as anything other than a misty ghost for 6 long years. Not even a picture had survived the flames. He stood before her in his park ranger uniform, holding the fancy sword she'd always thought fake.
"Prove yourself!"
Claire wanted to memorize every line, but not that angry mouth. The worst she'd ever done as a child had only made him sigh with disappointment. Once, he'd let his features flicker with true anger. That time, he left the house and went for a ride on his horse, rather than shout or punish her and her little brother. She swallowed past the lump in her throat. "It's not him," she whispered. But she wanted it to be him, as much as she wanted it not to be him. For one more chance to hug him, she would sacrifice anything. Seeing him like this, scraped at the scab she'd built inside since his death, letting the hollow, empty feeling bleed out again. Her father relaxed his stance and lowered his blade.
"You have to prove yourself, Pumpkin, or you'll never really be a knight."
Claire squeezed her eyes shut. Everything else faded away, and she was 10 years old again, holding his hand. "I don't know how, Daddy. Every time I try..." Hot tears burned her cheeks. "All the nights say I'm not good enough. Nothing I do here will ever be good enough."
"You're not trying, Pumpkin. Never trying always fails."
She swiped her sleeve across her face, smearing streaks of damp gray dirt across it. Opening her eyes, she stood before her father, ready to let him stab her through the heart. She saw the loose dirt beneath her feet, and the green light. Behind her father, Enyon moved in slow motion, taking his time to position himself for a stealthy charge from behind. This thing was not her father. Claire hung her head, ashamed of herself for letting it torture her. She knew better, and Caius still got to her. "The palace is the worst place ever. It's supposed to be a sanctuary." Her father stared at her, his brow furrowed. Enyon sprang. Claire threw herself to the side. Dragon and man crashed to the ground, throwing dirt into the air. Enyon's wings and tail thrashed as he wrestled with the feisty spirit. The dragon thumped the spirit into the ground and held him there, roaring at his face. To get through this, Claire had to kill her father. She averted her eyes from his face. "It's not him," she muttered to herself over and over, while Enyon held him down. Dropping to her knees beside them, she held her dagger in one hand and blocked his face out of her sight with the other. "Screw you, Caius!" she spat. Then she stabbed the spirit in the leg. Her dagger slammed through white mist and into the ground. The spirit crumbled and dissipated. For a moment, Claire stared at the ground, too confused and raw to feel the relief of being right. Then Enyon wrapped his wings and neck around her, holding her close while she struggled to force all the pain of the past away. She wiped her nose and tugged half-heartedly at her dagger to free it from the dirt.
"You're tired,"
Enyon said.
"Need sleep."
"Yeah." Her dagger remained stuck. This place plays dirty and mean. She scooped a handful of dirt and threw it, watching the dust fill the air and drift to the ground. "Can't get much worse than having my dead father look at me like he wants to beat me with a baseball bat, though. Right?" Enyon rubbed his nose against her cheek.
"Right."
"How does that even have anything to do with being a knight anyway?" Claire wiped her face one more time.